This is Hadi from ADCU.
This is Theo from the Casework Department.
We have an update which just came up now. We had an emergency meeting with TfL. They called in this emergency meeting, which I was not expecting of it, just received the team to say that there's an emergency meeting regarding licenses. So there is development here. What happened is, picking up from my last video with Theo and also the other one I've recorded after that, I did actually say to the members that we wrote to Helen Chapman asking her basically to issue a temporary license while basically the application process is going through. We've also pressured them. We've reached out to London Assembly member Ellie Baker, asking her to do the same thing, and she came back to me, promised me that at the time that she's going to have an emergency meeting with TfL. So from the pressure that we put, we could see there are some results. TfL today said they are going to grant those who actually are fit and proper temporary license for 3 months while the application process is going through.
Yeah, so this is very good news indeed, and I think we should emphasise that this has been due to putting ridiculous amounts of pressure on TfL in order to deal with these severe delays that we've been experiencing. It's not easy dealing with TfL. I know you guys know that too, but we're very, very happy that the pressure that ADCU has put on them has led to this. So just to go into a bit more detail, what they did say is that 3-month temporary licenses would be granted to those who have already basically have all the basic requirements to have a license. So this applies to people who basically have who've done their CIRU, who've done their ELR, BVLA check, those kind of things, where all that has been submitted and they're just awaiting kind of assessment, which can be a long process. Those people will be given a 3-month temporary license. I think...
Yeah, and the other positive side of this is that what they've said is, what happened is today emails will go out to the rest of the drivers, and once these email goes out, you might not have your license, so you can work immediately once you receive that email. And what they've said is they will also reach out to the big operators, for example, Uber and Bolt, to inform them that this is the situation. So you might not need to have the actual paper license to upload it onto the Uber platform, so they will inform them these people have been licensed. And what they've said also, they will actually update this on the license checker tool so that the big operators can see. But the other side of it is that they're not actually going to issue the badge which you wear. So what happens is you will still need to wear the badge, but what you need to do is to wear your old badge. Even if it has expired and you've been issued a 3-month temporary license, but you still need to have that badge on you and make sure you wear that badge. It's quite important on that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, if anyone asks like why you wear an expired badge, just explain the situation. Explain that you have a temporary license. They can just check on the license checker and see like this badge is valid. It is they've assured us basically that no private hire driver will be punished for wearing an expired badge if they do have that temporary license, which you will get a confirmation of. In addition to that, they also mentioned that they're going to have extra staff working on the prioritizing renewal applications. So as well as those people who are getting temporary license, we'll have this kind of expedited process to make sure that after these 3 months, they're not then stuck with the same problem. I think it is also important to mention about people with the occupational health issues who are undergoing medical assessments. We know that is one of the most severe issues, and it can take a very, very long time. They did say that their occupational staff are prioritizing this at the moment. However, those people who have those kind of medical issues, if there's still medical information awaiting to be assessed, they still unfortunately would not be given the 3-month temporary license. So this is only for people who basically have got all the fit and proper requirements and are just waiting. They will get it. If you have a medical assessment issue, the best thing you can do still at this point is to contact us and get, with any kind of medical documents that you want to submit to TfL, let us submit it to TfL on your behalf, and we can get them to look at them as a priority. As I mentioned, they are looking at these. What they said to us is that basically their team at the occupational health are prioritizing this and like concentrating on just this issue. I think it is important to note that this isn't the end. We're not saying this is the final victory, but this is obviously a good achievement, but this is just one step. And what we're going to be doing now is making sure that TfL sticks by what they're saying here and grants those 3 months temporary licenses. Don't hold back or anything like that. Make sure everyone who is due to get one gets one. And B, for those people who are not in that criteria, for example, if they haven't been able to provide all the correct information, haven't done their CERO, are still awaiting occupational health assessments, make sure those are prioritized and those drivers get their licenses as soon as possible. So in the meantime, with all this information there, if you do have a licensing issue still, if you are still awaiting assessments, please do contact us.
Exactly.
We have a team here, and we are in direct contact with TfL. Whenever we mention a case to TfL, they do look into it. It may not seem that way always, but definitely if you contact us, that you will get a faster response. So please do let us know. Send us an email about it. We can get back to you as soon as possible. I think as I mentioned,
I mean, as Theo said, it is actually a great achievement. But we've been calling for this. If you guys remember, as I said to you at the beginning of this, I've been pushing for this from the actual meeting I had from them originally on the 5th of March, and the other meeting I had with them on the last Wednesday of the month, where I said temporary license while all this, but they pushed it back. So when we put a pressure, wrote to Helen Chapman and also wrote to Ellie Baker, the London Assembly member, and also basically what happened is last week we had BBC, basically we involved BBC, and thanks to those drivers who actually came and spoke to the media, well, we've reached out to a lot and a lot of them have refused, but those who came and volunteered to speak, thanks to you guys, that pressure, it looks like it has actually brought the fruits of it. But however, the pressure still carries on. TfL are one of the most difficult organizations to deal with, but this is actually good news. At least we can see people out there earning. And I did stress this, over and over to TfL, saying like, not only people incomes have been affected here, but they cannot actually now able to maintain these vehicles because they're not earning anything. As you guys know, whenever you start beginning of the week, you're minus all the expenses, whether it's £300 or £400 a week. So you need to make that and then pay those expenses. And then when you start earning money, and when you're not actually making that, you're losing out. So a lot of people have been crying, saying, what am I going to do to these, to the vehicle, the rental company, I can't afford it and I can't afford to pay for the finance. But however, I hope now this will resolve that and people will start earning, and let's see what happens. But however, as Theo said, if you've still basically been affected and you didn't receive the email today, please do contact us and we will reach out to TfL. We have a direct connection with TfL. There are a couple of guys who actually we talk to over there, and we'll try to push on what we can. Remember one thing, they said basically on the emergency meeting today that these emails will be sent today. They said preferably probably this morning. So what time is it now? 11:18. So this morning, it means these emails should go out by 12 o'clock today. But if you don't receive it, maybe you might have received it and it ended up in your junk. Check your junk mail, and if not, please do get back to us and I will basically push it. But as Theo said, if you have not passed CERO or ELR, you're not going to be granted a temporary license, unfortunately. So, and also the other thing, if you have an ongoing medical issue that TfL are aware of it, unfortunately, they're also not going to give you the license. But however, if you have an ongoing medical issue and you've submitted all your document, or if you want document to be submitted on your behalf, please reach out to us, and reach out to us. It doesn't matter when. Even if I'm quite happy basically to work on weekend. I've been working on weekends. So if there's any issue, just reach out to us, email casework@adcu.org.uk, or just email it, and or basically there's the phone number that Zamir normally picks it up. I will basically liaise with TfL on weekends, and I have seen TfL getting back to me even on Saturday and Sunday, and I have been working on weekends just to make sure this problem is solved. Just get in touch whenever you can, or whatever time it is.
Yeah, absolutely. The fight isn't over, but it's a very big step. Just to echo what Hadi said, thanks to everyone who came to the office to speak to the BBC. It's undeniable that pressure also pushed on TfL to take some action here. Also, I think Hadi's a very humble man, but thank you to Hadi. As he mentioned, he's been doing weekend work on here. He's been going back and forth with TfL. It's been a very stressful time, but couldn't have done it without him.
No, this was actually a teamwork. It wasn't only Hadi. I mean, you've passed all the information to me. You've picked up all the phone calls. Zamir was actually working through, weekends, and it's a teamwork. It wasn't only Hadi. It was teamwork. We all put all our effort in there to make sure, like, everybody, is licensed on time. And the moment we've realized there is a problem, we basically picked it up, all of us together, and we prioritized that. So it was a team effort. Thanks to you.
No worries. And so just to summarize at the very end, basically anyone who is currently provided all the correct information, passed this year, everything like that, will be granted a 3-month temporary license. You should get a notification about that within probably before 12 o'clock today. TfL are having extra staff to deal with all the other renewal applications. If you are having occupational health issue, this unfortunately does not apply to you, but please do contact us if you've already submitted your information. It's still being assessed. And finally, as we said at the beginning, this isn't the end of the fight. We're going to do everything to make sure that TfL implements this and that they provide the licenses to everyone who doesn't unfortunately fall into these categories. Contact us if you're having any issues, and we'll be happy to help.
Yeah, so we're going to close this basically by also thanking the drivers who actually turned up to speak to the BBC, and also thanks to the team here, starting from Zamir, Theo, Yunus and Marius, and also the NEC who actually put an effort, to make sure this happened. I mean, Kamil Karakus, Farah Musa, they never stopped actually bombarding my phones with all basically renewal application. Thanks to all those who put the effort, and now that's the fruit of it. But as he said, the fight still carries on, and we're still going to fight for our members. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Take care.